Alright, we should be back up and running here. Alright, so we're going to be playing this here Civilization 4 mod called Rise and Fall, Dawn of Civilization. Rise and Fall came pre-packaged with the game. Civilization 4 Beyond the Sword, the most recent expansion, it's no longer really being developed, so they created a spiritual successor known as Dawn of Civilization, which adds a lot of more features. So I've started up a game at the 3000 BC starting point is Egypt, and what I like to do is right off the bat just jump into a world builder, as the map is all predetermined, so we're not really, all of this is known information. There's nothing random here. So the way I go about this typically, just paste this quick into here so I can edit it. Let's see. Alright, let's see. Alright, so the trick with this game is that each civilization has a certain core area where they're supposed to build all their major cities. And this, with the mod comes this, you can go into the maps folder, and then we want to get our civilization. It's for Egypt. So this is the core area in the dark green, and that's going to correspond to a 3-tile wide and 5 tile tall area in the northern Nile River. Just going to mark that off here. Alright, so we've got a new layer. Alright, so this is our core area, and the trick is that you want to have your big cities here, because the way that the stability works is you have to have like more of your population in the core than you have outside of the core. So like, for example, if you were to build a city like right here, just south of the dye, you could get like a bunch of population from like the wheat and the fish and some of the floodplains, but all of that population would be outside the core, so it is going to count against you for your stability. If you would just simply put the city like right here in the core, you're still getting the same food resources, the wheat and the fish and a lot of the floodplains, and then all of that is going to add to your stability. So the trick in planning this is to just set up your cities so that you are maximizing the population that's inside the core. And I've already kind of like done a little bit of analysis on here. So the cities that we're going to want to make, obviously, we're going to make Alexandria, as I call it, and that is going to be located right up here, and it is going to be that one that I was just explaining. So the city will go here, and then the range of the city, all the stuff it can get, is going to be like this. Alright, and then this is nice because then, you know, we can like move this around if we need to, but we're not going to move it around because this is already the best. That's where the city is going to go, because that's the best place, because you're basically getting all the food. Like, this is the only way you can even get that fish into your core area, is to put the city here. The only notable piece that we lose out on is this floodplain over here, but there's no way to get the fish and that in the same city. So the other city that we want to build, yeah, so this is where it gets a little harder. Let's see. So the second city, there's a few different positions. So the default position is to put it here. That's where the settler spawns, and this is like pretty good, but one of the problems is that you end up missing out on these floodplains down here and over here. And actually, let me highlight the floodplains quick. So you really, and the oasis as well, will count. So, because Egypt is a little bit, you know, any of the civilizations that have like a lot of floodplains, they're kind of you're using those instead of like the normal food resources. I'm just going to highlight all the food. Yeah, camels add food as well, I think, but it doesn't matter because we're already getting that with Alexandria. We know that that's the ideal position. So we'd like to be able to get all of these floodplains, particularly down in the south. So now when I turn these back on, we can see that this city, like, it gets a lot of the stuff here, but it misses out on some stuff down here. And I think that basically my proposal is to actually build it down another one down here. And there's a few problems. So we're still missing this floodplain, but there's no way that we can get this one and this one at the same time. We can move over and get that. We lose that one. We could build like 2 separate cities down here. And I think I have done that in other builds too. I wonder if that's good. Yeah, you know, let's just give it a try. Because this, if it works, this is the best build. There's going to be a lot of overlap, but that's fine. Alright, let's see. Just get these colors set up here. Alright, so then this third city in the red will be the one that's getting that floodplain up here that was missed, and this floodplain here. Actually, is that a floodplain? Yeah. So we're picking up those. I can actually decrease this a lot. So that's picking up all of that food. And yeah, again, it's interesting. There's a lot of different ways you can kind of lay this out actually. As I'm looking closer, like if we want to maximize, truly maximize the food, then we're building 4 cities. Yeah, maybe I should just try that, because we could build it here. So actually, yeah. Oh no, now I remember. Yeah, the problem with that. Yeah. We could build 1 city in the 4 corners, and then that gives us the most food. But the problem is we actually miss out on the copper, which is a problem. Yeah, maybe we just move this lower. Because we don't, having it be a coastal city doesn't actually help that much. And putting it here, yeah, putting it on top of the marble doesn't really, it doesn't provide any benefit compared to putting it here, really. We gain like this hill, but it doesn't really matter that much because that doesn't do a lot for us. But that is interesting. We lose out on the improvement on the marble anyway, which is probably worse than you don't want to lose the marble just to gain the hill. And then again here would be fine, but we're losing the copper. The only way to get the copper is to build it either here, here, or here. And building it here, then we're never getting that food. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, I kind of like this, because this actually gets all of the production resources into the same city. So you get the stone, marble, horse, and copper. As Egypt can have problems getting production. So then obviously then the last city would go here to pick up these last few floodplains and the gold. Let's see. Alright, so that's the city layout. We're getting all maximum resources into the city. Maximum food resources into the core, I should say. Let's see, now there's also another thing that you often run into is getting access to the ivory, which is pretty useful because it's very helpful for the military units that you can get, and it also provides happiness. One of the other really important things that you want to try to do if you can is to get the cow, which provides health, which is one of the biggest limiting factors on your growth. So this is going to be the core. I just kind of wanted to look at what we can do. I'm just going to save this quick here, and then oops. Just going to kind of look at this area briefly. Yeah, this area is kind of the only other area that is worth like planning out. The other stuff is pretty obvious, I think. You'd also love to like be able to get this sheep and clams, but this is going to be a contested area with Arabia. This is contested sheep as well, although this one is pretty easy. That one's reasonable to get. I guess this could be worth looking at as well. This area is not particularly contested right away, but the resources around here aren't, the other stuff isn't very good. A city here would be great, but I'm pretty sure this is jungle, so you can't actually build there until much later into the game. Anyway, so I was going to just grab this. Oops. Now let's see. So quickly for context, our city will be Alright, so just for context, so our previous cities will be like this. And the other one is here. So these new cities will be... Alright, so if we wanted to get... I'm just going to draw a template here. Oh yeah, and then we also wanted to look at the historical area. So on our little map here, this light green area is historical area, and if you can't get a city into the core, then the historical area is like the next best area to go. And that area will be, so those are there, and then it goes down 2, 1, 2, over 1. Oops. Okay, so that should be here. Yep. So that is and then it also comes down here. Yep. So there's the lake, which is that, and then it goes, there's 3 which are yellow, and then there's this area. Okay, so this should be correct. So this is our target zone, and yeah, actually it looks like the place where I happen to draw it is probably the best. So I don't think that you can actually build the cities on this marsh. Otherwise this would be ideal, but I don't think you can build on either of these tiles. So pretty much we're looking at this. We potentially can gain this incense, although Ethiopia will be here and there, so I don't expect to necessarily get access to a lot of this stuff. We're just basically trying to get these 2 for sure. The other candidate would be... this was actually reasonable as well. Although it's probably not worth it because we lose out on the camp improvement, and we gain this empty desert. Whereas here, if we build it in the desert, we put the city tile over that, which improves it. This is the other one, but so we gain the lake potentially in this nice hill, but it will be actually hard to really take advantage of much of that. Let's see. In fact, this is probably just the better because, well, I guess it's close. One of the difficulties is that if we're giving all of this floodplains to the core, this city actually has almost no food left over for it, and I don't even know. Let me see if this camp is workable. I guess I will do one thing. I will just quickly double check to see if we can build in that marsh. Just because that would be useful to know. Alright, stop moving around. Yeah, alright, so the settler can walk through the marsh, but we can't build in the marsh. Yeah. Okay. So then this is likely to be where we will build it. Although, yeah, I mean, this building it here doesn't really hurt us at all. So we gain a hill and the lake. We gain the hill and the lake. But over here we gain, and again, all of this is going to be used by the core. So down here we gain, this is a jungle, so it's basically worthless, so we're gaining 2 regular plains. So, yeah, it's actually kind of close. I mean, the regular plains can be farmed. But that doesn't help us get bigger. But this hill is probably unusable because we don't have enough food to supply it, because we're basically putting it all into the cotton. And I don't even know if the camp is going to be usable. Let's see. Yeah. Dang. So the camp is not gonna is just going to have it's not going to have any added food. So if we theoretically build the city here, yeah, we just have this one odd food left over. So, but it's still better than, so we're gaining access to the ivory and the cotton. We can't work the cotton. But, or we can work the cotton but not the camp. So, it's better than nothing, I think. The question would be, is it even worth it to build the city? And it probably is, because the elephants are, I don't know, we'll see. The elephants are really, they're pretty good, so. Let's see, so I need to reload this, and then something else I was going to check. Yeah, so the only other thing to look at then is, oh yeah, I'm just gonna check the map for Ethiopia. Let's see. Just see whether or not where they spawn. Just make sure it doesn't mess up our stuff. Okay, so this blue area, I'm pretty sure is the flip area, which means when they spawn, anything in this area automatically becomes theirs, I think, or at least, yeah, or at least they will attack you if you don't give it to them. If you have a city there, they'll go to war with you. And our stuff, so it's everything around the lake, and then it extends south and east. Okay, so that's fine then, because ours is not not next to the lake. All right, so this is like a pretty good plan. We've got 4 cities in the core, 1 extra city planned out. There's some other possibilities as well, like in the southern coast of the Mediterranean and the eastern coast of the Mediterranean. So the only other thing is to figure out which city we want to be the capital, and it's a little bit interesting. We might play around with that a little bit to see for the victory conditions. It would actually be nice to make Alexandria the capital, because you really want to have the extra culture to fight and get the fish, because you will often lose the fish to the Greek. But if you put the capital here, you don't get access to stone. So I think I have tried this in the past, and I think I ended up just making the capital here, so one north of the starting position, the red city, because then you get both resources, and you can just start really quick. Let's see. I also have some other notes. So when you're playing Egypt, you need to be hyper aware of the Greeks get automatic armies that spawn in your territory at a certain day. And I actually forgot to write down what that was when I did my test run, but it didn't matter too much because they're not that powerful. Let's see. But I do know, so at turn 207, you get Roman Conqueror spawn, one southeast of Jerusalem. And in my game I had captured Jerusalem, so this is relevant, but if you don't capture Jerusalem it doesn't matter, obviously. Then turn 217, you get the conquerors again, and it was one west of Alexandria. Wait, one west of Alexandria? I think it's supposed to be east of Alexandria. And also one east of what I would call, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I call it Newt Rist, which was the capital that I placed, which was actually in the starting position. So, and I don't know if it's scripted to spawn there or if it's relative to the city, but we will just call it, I'll just call it one southeast of it. So I had my capital here and the unit spawned one east, but I'm planning on putting my new capital here. I assume that they'll still spawn here, so it'll be one southeast, one tile southeast of there. And then turn 280 is the Arabian spawn. And that was fine. I think they just flipped Jerusalem again. So yeah, and then I forget when they have the Byzantine spawn, because they flip Jerusalem again. So it's probably just not actually worth it to go for that for Jerusalem. And then there's also the Morocco spawn at some point, which is noteworthy. I'll have to just fill these in. These don't really matter nearly as much. Let's see. Alright, so I might as well get actually into the game now. Where did it go? southwest of the ivory, and then let's see, so yeah, so there's one north of spawn, there's one south of spawn, and then there's a southwest of the stone and southeast of the stone. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna try having the new wrist here. Oh yeah, and then so in terms of the militia, it doesn't really matter that much. Like, obviously exploring the map doesn't matter when you already know everything that's there. It's just useful to meet civilizations, because then you can get I think you can get like the tech discount if you own the same techs or whatever, or potential trade routes, just building diplomatic relations. So it's just useful to have your guys do that. There's also some huts that you can loot that are good. So I'm going to try to get some of the huts first. And now in terms of the first construction, yeah, this is probably a big point. I think that it's hard to say. Probably want to go worker. Well, we might want to do worker first. It's hard to say. Oh yeah, I should write down the victory conditions here. So the victory conditions we're going for is the historical victory. So turn 1, on turn 133 we need 750 culture. On turn 208 we need pyramids, great library, and the great lighthouse to be built by us. And in turn 235 we need 7,500 culture. When I've done this in the past, I haven't done it on this newest version of the mod, but in the past, it's pretty reasonable once you plan it out to build the wonders, but the difficulty is sometimes someone else will build the pyramids early and it's just random. And it can be physically impossible to finish it, but we'll see. Also, I think you do want to go for the Sphinx as well, even though it's not required. It helps a lot. So food is added to production when building wonders. I think this is different since the last time I played. So actually, I'm not sure if that's how useful that is exactly. There's a nice synergy here though, because the pyramids let cities grow when using food for production. I'm not even sure exactly how that works, but So that's doubled with stone. This is doubled with stone. Food is added to production for wonders. So the tech path is going to be pretty tight. That's one of the difficulties. Just gonna write these down. So we need, if we're doing the Sphinx, we need mythology. Otherwise, if we're just doing pyramid, we can do masonry immediately. Let's see, there's one other thing. Oh yeah, so yeah. So this great lighthouse is navigation, which requires a lot. And then the great library is over here. Let's see, so this is boosted with marble. It'll take a little bit, it'll take longer to get to it. This is not boosted. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't quite remember how I did it before. Obviously, this has to be built in Alexandria. The library can kind of be built anywhere. So we need navigation, and then philosophy. Just put a G there. And then there was one other thing I needed to check, which was the civilization bonus. Let's see, so I don't remember if, first I'll check if they have the leader bonuses. Okay, here it says. So the obelisk is the building. Okay, so the unique power is just that we start with monarchy, redistribution, and deification. And an obelisk is the unique building. It just lets you make a priest and gives you percentage culture, which is obviously really, it plays into the victory. So we'll want obelisks, obviously. And then we'll see how the civics work. So we get the bonus speed on the granary. We get full on 25% hammers for wonders. And then we get the melt with the bonus happiness. Alright. Alright, so that seems good. So researching, yeah. So this helps us build wonders faster, but this helps us grow our cities faster. I'm gonna try doing masonry first. I'm gonna try rushing pyramid first because that one is the most contested. Okay. I think in that case it does make sense to do a worker, although interestingly we won't be able to actually, there'll be 8 turns, when it comes out in 20 there'll be still 8 turns before I can actually upgrade either of these. So maybe it's not worth it then, because what is he doing then? Just building a farm? So you could build a farm or a mine. Let's try it, because I don't know if the wheat is going to be discovered yet. And then we can build a farm on that. That would be pretty good. So I'm just going to bring this guy down here to this hut. Okay, we got gold. I think there's one more hut over here. Alright, we did get the weed, so that's good. Maybe there's not a hut here. No. I know there's one in South Africa. Alright, so we've got our one worker. And I mean, the only thing that really makes sense, I think, is to do the granary. The settler is also tempting, actually. As that would come out in like, well, this would come out pretty soon though, because it's growing. Yeah, let's try the settler, because there isn't a lot of benefit to growing the city immediately. Whereas we know Alexandria will be the other city, and it's extremely good. And yeah, I'm just kind of exploring here. There isn't really anything else to do with this guy. Alright, so now we can potentially start building the pyramid soon. The other thing we need do want this. So we're not going to worry about copper or anything right away. We just are going to defend ourselves with the war chariots. So we will need to get the horses hooked up. We don't need roads immediately because we can hook the resources up automatically because they're on the river. So I think we can think about just heading for these. So if we do, so we can get to navigation without writing, but we might want that for the library. We might want to go writing first because of the library. It would be nice to get these. Calendar is also quite strong. Maybe we just, well, it's hard to say. Because it would be nice to have scientists, but with our setup, we can just rely on using plantations and commerce to get a lot of our research. So it's possible that we want to just rush more for like calendar. So I think we will do, yeah, mythology for now. Move this up here, I guess. So we got that built. Now, let's see. Probably need to build this. Yeah, we need the stone. Yeah, because stone is the one that boosts the pyramids. It also adds more hammers than the marble does. Okay. And I think at this point we can just start building the pyramids, although how many turns? So 5 turns. Yeah, let's just try to start building the pyramids now. Because everything else is significantly less important. We also want, actually, well, maybe I should have done fishing first before mythology. So I'll put that on here. Or what is it called? Sailing? Yeah. Alright, so just writing down the improvement path. Alright, and then you can't really, actually, if you just have a regular guy, regular militia, you can't really go through here because you'll just get killed by the defenders of Jerusalem. So I'm just going to leave him around this area to kind of explore. Forget about this. It's a little dead end area here. Okay, so we're making pretty good progress here. Let's see, I should send these over. Let's see, that's a good, yeah, what do I even do now with this guy? I guess I'll just build a farm. It might be useful later. And I'm building it in the area between the two cities, because then I can give it to either one of them, depending on who needs it. Let's see, so I think I will go for, yeah, pastoralism. Maybe that should even become before mythology. Yeah, because that will reveal the camel and the horse, which then I could be upgrading. Okay, so the Oracle was built on turn 63. Alright, so we got the pyramids. Go around there because there's a bear. So it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, yeah, it makes a lot of sense to go for the Sphinx. But the greenery is also good. Right, so forgot about that. So this is not going to actually get in range of the fish because it has no culture production. Do I need a temple? Interesting. So we're obviously that we didn't really do Alexandria correctly. Yeah, and then I think at this point we can go for the obelisk. Yeah, I also missed the economy slider. I'll have to fix that. Yeah, I guess there's like no reason not to do that. I'll build a militia. Alright, scout died. But we got, I think that was the last thingy, the last goodie hut to get, so. Probably should have upgraded the horse instead, but that's okay. So originally when I said I needed to do sailing early, it actually doesn't, I actually shouldn't do that, because there's no way I can grow the border of Alexandria to use the fishing boat anyway. So that should actually go later. Let's see. Yeah. Because we need to build the temple or obelisk first. So mythology, ceremony. Yeah. Okay, so we got a random religion spread, which is nice, because that's going to help the culture a lot. Alright. It's looking pretty good. So this is the point where we get a little, there's kind of a lapse where we need to suddenly start worrying about tech a lot. Forgetting about my slider here. Why is it using that? Okay. So the temple doesn't even help because now we're getting the religious freedom malice. Okay. What? Okay. Makes more sense. So we are getting actually close to, we're at turn 99. On turn 133 is when we need to have the 750 culture. Just gonna kind of check. Oh, we should actually have, we should remember to switch into slavery. Yeah, okay. Let's see, when was that? So we actually could have done that. Oh yeah, that would have been good. So yeah, I'll have to remember about that. Masonry. Might as well do that now. So there's a lot of improvements that we'll be able to make on the second attempt. And you know, actually, it might be worth researching copper because they let us use that tile, which provides a lot of production. Should probably write that in here too. Gonna get another militia to try to get the happiness cap raised over here. It's actually fine. So the only problem, one of the problems when moving the capital 1 north is we lose the gold. Which does provide a significant commerce boost. And it's probably just worse for us short term to do it this way, but I think hopefully this will work out. Oh yeah, so I want to check how much culture. Okay, we do have the culture. That's good. Don't have like a ton of time though. We really need to get those technologies finished. Ooh, okay, that's very lucky. So we got the great engineer. So we'll just sit on that. Actually, maybe we should just use it. I mean, we could use it. I think you can still use it to rush a wonder, but it might be better to just get the tech. Let's see. So what does he give me? Tanning and smelting. Which would be good. So it's like 500 beakers worth. Let's just go for it. This might be bad, but I don't know. Gives us the copper immediately, which is nice. We're gonna have really good production for the wonders. Once the problem is getting the tech to be able to build them. Oops, forgot to turn off the growth. see, so this one we will use here to get the gold. Now we also got plantations, minorialism, but that's not good because the other one is better because it buffs the quarries. The city like doesn't even matter that much, I guess. You don't really want it to, it doesn't need to grow very much, so. So the Hanging Gardens is actually interesting. I think I will try it, but we'll see. Mostly just out of a lack of anything better to do. Probably should have, well, it would be nice to get leverage a little earlier. Okay, so you can stop growth now. So Persia's showed up with Zoroastrianism. Alright, nice. So hopefully that doesn't mess us up by hitting it for the wonder cap, but I think we're fine. I don't really know how to read it, but I think we're fine. Let's see, so yeah. And this city really doesn't matter at all. Oh crap. Actually, I need to connect the horse before I can do that. Okay. So again, a lot of improvements. Okay, got some barbarians showing up for the first time, and there will be a lot of them in the future. Is this too many workers? Yeah, this might be too many workers. Okay, let's try to get this. Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, we might not have had enough tech. So we might need to prioritize calendar or something else faster. Ooh, okay. So we failed the goal. Alright, wow, Great Lighthouse was built somewhere. China, I guess. This is turn 153. That's rough, because that's gonna be really hard to compete against. And I guess with that, actually, it's been running for a while. I'm going to take a break and try to come back tomorrow. Yeah, that lighthouse is real hard to beat. Yeah, that's so early. I'm not going to fully restart. But I will just jump into World Builder just to confirm that I think that it was China that built it. Well, maybe not. What the? Oh, Persia built it? Well, no. Okay, Greece built it. Why did it say built in a faraway land if I knew where he was? Okay. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, we can see if I can do a different route. So we actually probably don't need the obelisks because we had plenty of culture for the first victory we turned 133. But yeah, we're gonna take a break here and come back. I'll probably finish this out, see if we can meet the other goals, and then try it again. Yeah, thank you for watching.